everyone to another episode of Title Talk. I'm here with Brett Elper. I'm here with Luke from X.com. How are you guys? How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing absolutely amazing, Bryson. I'm honestly just happy that we're getting really into the depths of training camp. Like pads are on, everybody's ready.
I'm great as always, Bryson. Thanks for putting this together once again.
Yeah,
I'm excited
appreciate you.
to talk about Gabe Akis and his 8-pack abs. So I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, I'm not getting enough credit here because if you don't do any of this tech stuff behind the scenes, you just see your favorite podcast, dude. I'm doing it all by myself. Luke is occasionally he's troubleshooting with me, and he's like asking AI. He's like, "Okay, I'm working with an idiot. How do you talk to the idiot?" And so we're trying to figure out how to live stream on all platforms. We're live on YouTube right now, so that's awesome that we've done that. So slowly we're working up. We hit like over 30 subscribers on YouTube today. We flipped the other Title
Moving.
Talk podcast. They stole, by the way, they stole our art and our logo. Not our logo, but our text art. They stole from the old podcast, and so like we had to dunk on them today, which we did that, which is actually pretty funny. I think the first thing that I really want to talk about, because no one is actually talking about it, because Brett Alper and all of our friends are a little busy talking about Jan Miller. I just want you to get your eye on this ball over here, real quick, Brett Alper and Jan Miller. The story that goes overlooked for me, because last year I wrote all year about the Patriots, and the
Yeah.
one thing I said was there's something missing from Drake May, and you kind of saw in the Broncos game on the last play, right, where he's flexing in front of everyone's face. And I said all year there's just like one thing missing, and it appeared to be that. And I talked to some people that know Drake May, and they're like, it's there. Believe us. He's plenty confident. You're not seeing it right now. And then Mike Vrabel comes out and he's talking. I can't remember who he's talking to, but he said when he spoke with Drake May, he told him, "You're the quarterback. Okay, you are the leader, but you don't have a choice in this. You're the leader." And Drake essentially said, "I don't feel like I can be a leader because I've not done anything yet." And it just made complete sense because the moment where Drake like kind of actually looks like a complete dog where he's flexing is the Broncos game when they clinch the AFC title game and they're going to the Super Bowl. And then that's your first moment. So that I think I'm like, "Oh man, that makes complete sense to me." And it makes me really happy. And people talk about like Drake May getting better and all this stuff, but I feel like this little stuff does get overlooked. Although Joe A NFL was making fun of me for this today, and I was like, no, I think it actually does matter when your quarterback is like, no, I'm actually the leader of the team now. So actually, I'll just be screaming at everyone, and I'm going to be flexing on people. So I absolutely love this. What do you guys think about this?
I mean, I'll take it off, but I mean, you could definitely see it last year just because it felt like you never really saw May leading the huddle. It was Diggs the entire time, giving the motivational speeches, doing kind of bringing the whole team together. But I mean, from what you see, and if you watch Forged in Foxborough, what you see from the videos that they're posting on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, just day in and day out, it feels like Drake May is getting more confident and still growing. I mean, he's still a young kid. He's only going into his third season, but you can truly see just the character built throughout for him throughout the last couple of years, just since last year even.
Yeah, and a couple pods ago, I was mentioning how I want him to kind of take on what I guess I used Josh Allen actually for as an example. Bryson, you brought up Peyton Manning. They have this knack for just kind of taking the other team's souls. And I think that actually is a bit of a leadership trait, which kind of people don't talk about enough. But when you watch them on the field and they have that just crushing third down run, fourth down run, or fourth down throw from Peyton Manning, and then they get in the defender's face and yell at them, get
Yeah.
the team hyped up. Brady had this as well. I brought up specifically that the Ravens divisional game in 2015 when they were down 14 nothing, and he ran that ball in, and he just got that stadium from 0 to 100 immediately with that hype. And like Bryson, you said, that game sealing run against Christian Ellis's brother in the Broncos in the AFC Championship game, you saw him get hype. You saw him yell in Greenlaw's face, Ellis's face. I want to see that in the third quarter. I want to see that when they're down
Mm-hmm.
10. I want to see uh, him showing the team that they're never out of a game. I mean, they have had a number of comeback wins last season. The schedule is going to be much more difficult, and the games are going to be much more difficult. So we're going to need to see a lot of that.
And you saw it from, I mean, there were a couple times last year where it felt like he was losing confidence. I mean, you had the clip of Josh McDaniels going up to him, trying to calm him down. And even during the Super Bowl, like Mike Vrabel asking him, like, you still want to go? You could see that he is still didn't have the full on confidence that you're starting to see once we got into training camp and once we got into the off season program of this year.
Yeah, I think both of you guys are right. That's the next ascension step in Drake May is that leadership role that Brady would have. I think that's perfect. And, it's just really actually is crazy to me that no one is talking about this. I'm the only one that saw it. I'm the only one on the internet for 12 hours today, I guess, and saw this or whatever. But I was like, dude, that actually means a lot. And you know what? You have to actually really give credit to Mike Vrabel for just sitting down and being like, actually, you're the leader. It doesn't matter what you think. You have to be. It clearly didn't work though, right? Drake still was not confident in that leadership role. But now that he's had that experience, what he said is true. I have the experience, and now he's ready to go. So I really do love that. That's really probably my favorite story of the offseason so far. I think the second one that I've been really getting irritated with, because I'm always getting irritated with offseason stories, is the Kayshon Boutte stuff. Okay, so Kayshon and I were friends. He messages me, we talk, he confirms my stories and my weird conspiracy theories that are vibe coded, but they're correct. And so I'm like, hey, what's going on with Kayshon Boutte? It's like all you see these beat writers is like Kayshon Boutte is catching another pass, and they're like, well, I don't know what's going to happen now. And it's like another catch from Kayshon. I don't know what's going to happen now. It's like, okay, fundamentally, let's be smart about this. Do you honestly believe that what the Patriots think about Kayshon Boutte is changing it because of what he's doing in practice? Now, if you think that is true, actually, if they're like, well, he's just so much better this year, I don't understand. We actually might have. It's not about them. So if you think he has gotten much better, right? Now let's go to the next step. I'll just admit that he has. Well, Kayshon Boutte still has demanded a trade. So he's the one who wants to leave. So it's not even up to them. And for that matter, they've given a lot of the money for the wide receivers to Dobbs, to A.J. Brown. And so we kind of feel like maybe he'll stay for the year. And I honestly, as a fan, selfishly would think that would be the best thing is for them to have him here. Someone mentioned Welker and Amendola and Edelman and Amendola. And I think that's a good one right there. Edelman gets hurt. You have Amendola. Boutte's kind of like that role, if anything happens to anyone else. But every practice I see this narrative. It's like Kayshon Boutte's doing awesome. What were the Patriots going to do? And I'm just like, nothing has changed. He could catch 100 balls every single day in practice, and nothing about the situation would change. The Patriots are not changing their mind about what Kayshon Boutte is, and Kayshon Boutte is not changing his mind about the facts of the matter, which is you have not paid me yet. You're probably not going to pay me, and everyone knows it. And so you can find me another team where I'll soldier up. It looks like he's been awesome, and he's just going to play the entire year, which is great. But every day we do this, nothing has changed.
I think it's better for him to just stay at this point. You guys touched on it a few days ago, but he's not going to just get plopped into the commander situation and get more opportunity than he's going to get here, in my opinion. And also, I think the limited role might actually benefit him in contract negotiations next offseason. We saw it with Alec Pierce. Get this guy his 40, 50 targets. He's going to get these big plays, especially with A.J. Brown now in here. And so if he comes away this season with 45 balls, 6-7 touchdowns, and he goes into the offseason saying, give me an expanded role and you'll see 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. I think that a team could be sold on that, especially with a full offseason of installing him into their offense. We are 36 days away from the season opener. He's not walking into anywhere and getting 60, 70 receptions. It's just not happening. So in terms of a contract, I understand he's very worried about that. He's messaged Bryson about that multiple times. So I understand why he wants that trade. But I think it's best for both parties. The Patriots, you're not going to be that much better in the future by trading Kayshon Boutte for a 4th or 5th round pick. before the season starts, that's not going to change your championship status in the next 3 or 4 seasons. What might change your championship equity this season is having that depth at wide receiver. If AJ Brown misses 3 or 4 games, if Matt Collins gets hurt, if Romeo Doubs gets hurt, and you have Kayshon Boutte, who has great rapport with Drake May already, he can just fill in the gap. And not to mention, even with all those guys healthy, Drake May trusts him, and he's going to still get balls. So I think it's just best for both parties for him to just stay put. If the Patriots were going to get a second rounder, sure, now we're talking. But just dumping him for 4th, 5th round pick is not good for the Patriots this season, they are trying to win a championship this season. That's what this is all about. This is not a rebuilding year. And he's trying to get paid, and he's also trying to win a championship. I don't see a better opportunity out there for him unless, I don't know, Terry McLaurin tears his ACL in camp here. So
I think it's really interesting, just the whole entire situation, because you have, I mean, the report that said he requested a trade all the way back in April, because obviously everybody knew that AJ Brown was coming here, but he held out from OTAs and he held out from those voluntary workouts. He was all the way just chilling in Miami, but you had that kind of camp that he held, and he said, I want to be in New England my whole career. I love it here. This is my home. So it kind of gets contradicting, but it kind of goes back. I think the Patriots kind of already knew what Kayshon Boutte was, and this really isn't surprising to them how good he's playing. But when you look at what he said over, what was it, last week, where he's like, I'm just going to go out there and just play my game, I think it's the best move for him. And for the Patriots, they clearly need him right now because, like you said, Luke, about, oh, he's not going to step in and catch 70 balls. Well, that's kind of the same exact scenario with Romeo Doubs right now. It feels like that, yeah, you can see some of the talent that he has, but he's not on the same page as the same level as Boutte and May are compared to Doubs and May. And for a Patriots scenario, if he's going to be traded, which I think at some point he will be, but I don't think it's going to be right now. I kind of look at what the Raiders did with Jakobi Meyers. Like, he was their wide receiver 1, and we got to the trade deadline, and some team was going to need a wide receiver. So we could definitely get into, let's say, October, and somebody's going to get hurt. It's just the nature of football. And they see Kayshon Boutte, and they're like, he could be our guy to help bolster our team if we're going to be buyers at the deadline. But right now, I don't see Boutte getting traded at all, especially, like you said, 36 days before camp. It just does not make any sense.
Even on that, with all due respect to Kayshon, who we love, Jakobi Meyers is on another level from Boutte.
Oh, yeah.
And
he went for a 4th.
Exactly. So was it that bad?
It was a 4th and a 6th round pick for Jakobi Meyers.
Yeah, that's
it is the Raiders.
Yeah, well, Patriots should have traded for him at that point. My God.
You know, the really triggering thing that Patriots fans actually did it. I actually hate doing this. You know, my friends that aren't Patriots fans will be like, Bryson's such a homer, tired of seeing your tweets. And then Patriots fans will be like, Bryson, why are you so controversial? Why are you so contradictory? Why you got to post all this stuff we don't like? So, but I posted a picture, and it was Kayshon Boutte stats versus Matt Collins stats, and I'm telling you, it's going to hurt your feelings if you're like me and you're Kayshon Boutte's friend, and you're like, ouch. And people will be like, well, they'll cope and they'll say, well, the yards per reception was higher. And it's like, dude, okay, just calm down. I like Boutte, right? And
I love Boutte.
I think
we all love Boutte.
Whoa, this is a friendly show. Whoa. Yeah, no, it's like, I like the idea of just, I know you paid a lot for Doubs, throw him in the slot, put Boutte on the outside. You have AJ Brown on the outside too, and then you have Raridon, and then you have Stevenson, Henderson, whatever it may be. I like that lineup the best. Okay, but Matt Collins, I think he's a solid player too. But it's like, just to give you a comparison, Boutte is like probably closer to Matt Collins as a player than he is to AJ Brown. But Patriots fans, they do go wild when you say that. They're like, you just suggest maybe a little bit that he's like not in that tier, and they're like, whoa, wait a minute. And I'm like, I'm his friend. We talk about this. I'm like, dude, I want you to get paid. Let's go. But yeah, I think I'm on board with all of you guys. But I've actually heard some stuff about you two, and I don't really like this at all. It's really disgusts me, to be honest, about you guys right here in this chat right here, and all the people watching are the same way. I've got two Efton Chisholm fans in this spot right here. I was like, I was like, what? We're gonna take a side on the Efton Chisholm stuff, and they were like, we're Efton Chisholm stands.
All Big Sky first team, Efton Chisholm. AP
Oh,
All-American first team, Efton Chisholm.
it's
Yes.
like you listen to this. It's like Kyle Williams is down bad. He's him versus Efton Chisholm on the back end of the roster. Do both of them make it? What's going to happen? I need you guys to actually make the case for Efton Chisholm over Kyle Williams, because Kyle Williams, he does have some stands, including me. I think last year in my first article I said by the end of the year you'd probably see like Kyle Williams over Booty. Never happened. Huge L take, whatever. Not my fault that Kyle Williams couldn't figure it out, I guess, but not the greatest, But what do you guys think about this? You're Efton Chisholm fans. Is he going to beat out Kyle Williams?
Let me just start with I think Patriots fans need to remember, and I think even we are a little bit guilty of this when we talk about certain players, but not every single player needs to be an elite player on your team. You need to have role players. You need to have guys who can fill in certain spots and who aren't going to complain when they aren't in other spots. Efton Chisholm is, for all intents and purposes, able to be that guy. Kyle Williams might need a larger target share, or he's going to start complaining. He was a third round pick. He had a lot of people who really liked him when he was drafted. He is expecting a certain role on the team. Efton Chisholm is not. And we as Patriots fans, we love our just feisty white guy wide receivers. I really do love that, actually. But what I really think, where I think Efton Chisholm probably separates from Kyle Williams in the long term, maybe in the NFL just generally, maybe not with the Patriots, I think Zolak said it. Efton Chisholm has a lot of special teams experience in college.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, Bill Belichick would always say, if you can play special teams, you can find a role on the team, and then maybe later on you'll find some playing time. Mac Hollins did that earlier on in his career. He played a lot of special teams and didn't play a huge role as a receiver until later on. Efton Chisholm has that in his background. Kyle Williams does have some return experience from what I recall, but he's not going to go down and make a tackle. Efton Chisholm can do that. I think that he can be a little bit more of a Swiss Army knife. And also, as much as we kind of make fun of the practice clips, Efton Chisholm looks pretty good in the red zone, and we even saw that last year. I think that there could be moments for him. I kind of like his attitude. Not that Kyle Williams has had a bad attitude at all yet, but I would expect that he is not going to just be comfortable being a gunner on special teams and being a decoy 12 times a game.
I mean, for me, it's kind of like, everything you said about special teams. And I know a lot of people are just going to make the comparisons. Oh, is this small little white wide receiver? Let's compare him to Julian Edelman. Well, Edelman did play defense, he did play special teams. But for Chisholm, like, if you're going to talk about a wide receiver standpoint, not even talking about special teams, the Patriots, they have Mac Hollins. They have right now Kayshon Boutte, A.J. Brown, and Romeo Doubs. The only guy that can really fully on play in the slot is Pop Douglas. You're not going to put Kyle Williams in the slot. And that's kind of where I'm at, where, you have a bunch of guys where you have three different wide receivers who can play outside, who can play out wide, who can be that X guy. And Kyle Williams has that speed, that route running capability where it's just go. But does he have the same kind of route technique or route tree where Efton Chisholm, he can go over the middle of the field. He can make those stop and go routes in the slot that I don't think Kyle Williams can. If, let's just say, knock on wood, Pop Douglas gets hurt, who's going to be the slot? Are you putting A.J. Brown just back in the slot because you kind of have to?
And let me put it this way, Bryce, before you go. You've talked a lot about how Drake Maye obviously does not trust Kyle Williams at this stage.
No.
Kyle Williams 100% has a much higher ceiling as a wide receiver than Efton Chisholm.
Yes.
Yes. No doubt about that in my mind. I liked Kyle Williams coming out of college. I even liked him sometimes during the season. He makes some really nice catches. It was less than I thought when you really look at the stats. But let's put it this way, both of you. It is a critical fourth down regular season game. Let's not even get into the playoffs. somebody got hurt, and you're either putting Efton Chisholm in the slot or Kyle Williams in the game to get that last play down. Who do you think Drake May is more comfortable with right now?
For me, it's got to be Ethan Chisholm.
Oh my gosh, this is just
Answer the question, Bryson.
this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare.
Is it not
Kyle Williams FC? This is a nightmare scenario.
Is it not Efton Chisholm?
It might actually be
I'm
Efton Chisholm.
I'm looking right here, right now. Last year, Kyle Williams played 357 snaps out wide. He played 34 in the slot.
I can't believe
you can't put him there.
I've been pigeonholed into this take, by the way. I like Efton Chisholm. I think he has a role on an NFL team. Don't think he's going to be a star. It might not even be with the Patriots where he has this role, but he's going to be in the league for 6 or 7 years, and it might be like Braxton Berrios in some way. I try so hard not to just compare him to a white guy, and I just did, like, without even thinking about it.
I compare him to Amendola. Like, that's what I see. Every time he catches the ball, that's all I see.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Who was that before Braxton Berrios? Maybe. Who was the guy before him?
Was it Gunnar?
No, there was Gunnar Osuski, and then there was Austin Carr was another one.
Yes.
You just see these guys, and it's like Efton Chisholm does have a good RAS score, which is kind of crazy. He's just really small, but yeah,
he's 6 foot or 5'11". I mean, that's not terrible.
So I talked to him when I was at the Super Bowl, and he's 5'10". He's 5'10".
Yeah, So, Chisholm FC, we had to battle it out last year because I was tired of them because they were like, this is actually we actually been doing copy pastas on X where we just do last year's Chisholm takes, and people, it's just kind of funny actually because people love Chisholm so much, and you have to tell them to calm down. And this year it's like, okay, it's Kyle Williams FC this year. Now I'm going to say this every single podcast. Is it Kendall Vildor? Is this the cornerback's name that's like 29 years old and on his 15th?
Yes.
Yeah, Kyle Williams has a catch against him in the end zone, and people are like, whoa, you counted out Kyle Williams. And it's like, dude, if you don't calm down over there, just calm down. I'm one of the biggest Kyle Williams fans. I wish that you could just put him in the slot and feel great about it because he is fast, right? He is quick. And you look at some of those videos and you're like, he really does have it. But like we talked about, I went on the LFG Pats podcast, and all year long, they're huge Kyle Williams fans. And they're like, Bryson, when's Kyle Williams going to get together? I'm like, not happening this year, man. If it's going to happen, it's going to be next year. And now we're into next year. I don't know if Drake may trust him. It looks like Kyle Williams is still running with the twos, which is just – that's the things you take away from camp. He's still running with the twos. And, Chisholm is too, obviously. But like you guys said, with the slot – it's Pop, it's Efton Chisholm, really. Although they can move AJ and Dobbs in there around, and if they didn't have, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't need a full-time slot guy. I don't need a full-time Pop Douglas. I'm just gonna rotate AJ, Raridon, and Dobbs and all these guys around in the slot. But maybe they hit us with an Efton Chisholm makes a team, and they keep 7 wide receivers. I think didn't Bill and the Patriots they were always like a 6 wide receiver type of team, right?
They were 7 in 07. I know that. I gotta think. I'm trying to think. You could go back and look, but from what I remember, it was mainly just 6.
6, yeah, that's what I thought too. So yeah, we'll see. I really do think that it is kind of good for him that he's at least consistent, and he kind of seems like he knows where he's going, and everyone trusts him. And it's funny because he did get into the game one time in the preseason, I think. And my friends were texting me that aren't Patriots fans, and they were like, Efton Chisholm is legit. And I was like, dude, come on now. Are we serious right now?
It was the Vikings game because I know a Vikings fan, and he was watching the game, and he's like, all right, this guy's kind of good. But it's just –
Let me hit you guys with a little Efton Chisholm fun fact. We all know that his longest reception in college was 50 yards. We've talked a lot about that. It was a great play. Do we remember who threw the ball to Efton Chisholm?
Bailey Zappi.
In college?
Yeah.
Nah, Bailey Zappi was at Western.
Right? Do you have one? Do you have a guess?
I have no idea.
Gunnar Talkington.
Beast.
We all know Gunnar Talkington, right?
He's a beast.
He is a beast.
He's a beast.
If he's a beast, he's a beast.
He's a beast, dude. Seriously. Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Keep him on the roster, whatever. That is always going to be the last year when Efton like made the team. Everyone was like tagging me and like trying to dunk on me. Then he just like never played. Right? He just like,
he was the inactive week in and week out until who got hurt? Was it Antonio Gibson got towards ACL, and then we had to get either him or Terrell Jennings or Ramondre, whoever the kick returner was, because they just started putting Efton Chisholm back in kick returner. But that goes into this question.
Back there.
Is he going who's going to be the kick returner this year?
I mean, it's a very good question because they want Kyle Williams to do it, but he can't do it, right? Pop Douglas is like, you don't really trust him to do it, I think.
You don't want Travion to do it just for the kind of capable, or you have the opportunity of getting hurt.
Travion to do it.
I would want Travion to do it, but that's just me.
You say what?
I mean, I'm all for it. It's just I don't want him to get hurt. I mean, Antonio Gibson towards ACL on that kick return last year, and they were immediately like, we're not putting Travion back there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess that's true, but do you really want to forfeit just to play a game where you could just maybe Henderson has a one big play? Because that is the one thing about Henderson. If he gets moving and some speed, he is gone out of there.
We need that. I was just going to say, he has so many just nothing plays that he kind of just lives off of those massive
explosive
plays. So let's give him, 8 extra of those plays, opportunities every game. I'm down for it.
Why can't Marcus Jones go back there?
Did he not get hurt on a kick return? I'm thinking he got smoked on a punt return.
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I'm thinking he got hit pretty hard once, and he kind of never went back there. Just whatever. Put Jam Miller. Who cares? Put someone back there. Just catch the ball. That doesn't fumble the ball
back there.
Yeah, there's something to be said about just catch the ball and fair catch it every time. Who cares? Patriots offense is going to be good, right? Who cares? It'll be fine. Someone on here said, "Wait, you're friends with Booty in real life?" Yes. How many times do I have to brag? I'm not trying to brag. Okay, I don't want to brag. Me and Kashawn Booty are friends. We talk. Okay, yes, we're friends. Thank you for the comment.
You've posted the DM. I'm in his Discord.
That's awesome. He's a good guy, man. He really is a good guy. I really do like it when players, they will talk to you every once in a while because it reminds you. Because he said no, I just didn't know. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm being funny here, obviously. But yeah, I like when players are human like that because as a fan, I don't like being mean to the players. I don't like even Will Campbell jokes. I don't like doing that because they are actually real people. And they watch you more than you think. And we all know this because they see our tweets and they talk to us. But it's I like that he does that just to remind people hey, I'm actually a human being. You don't have to say I suck every time I drop the ball. And I do agree with that. So I do like that.
And I was talking to Kyle Williams, he was at Christian Gonzalez charity event. So I got to talk to him for a little bit. And he was just such a chill guy. He was talking to everybody. And I'm like, damn, I really don't want to talk bad about this guy ever.
That's why they get you close to the team, so you're just not talking bad about them. But you can do it without talking bad. You don't have to talk bad about them just to point some things out. A lot of stuff they would agree with, as long as you're fair, I think. But Luke, didn't you have some stuff you wanted to go over with us?
Yeah, do we want to go to my message to Patriots fans and the team, or do we want to do some over-unders and kind of break things up?
I hear that you have read one of my recent articles in the past and you want to rehash that, which I love that.
I got you. Yes. Well, let's go. Let's get to it then. I even tweeted a little bit about it today. I think that New England fans really need to cherish this moment that we're in right now because I'm not saying it's the next dynasty, but these next 5 to 10 years are going to be excellent. And how lucky are we that we get to do this again after only 5 years of kind of randomness with Cam Newton, Mac Jones, Zappy. Now we have Drake May, a perennial MVP candidate. I feel like that's what his career is going to look like. And I think Patriots fans got really depressed over the past 5 years because they need to understand right now is the good time. The vacation is over. We had a little vacation of horridness. And for 4 or 5 years, the entire region was allowed to become a little bit soft. Team was bad. Offense was unwatchable. Our expectations kind of deteriorated to the point where uh, we felt like completing a forward pass was a holiday of sorts. But these periods are over now. The Patriots went back to the Super Bowl last season. They didn't finish the job, and we deal with that humiliation on our own. But this kind of announced again that New England is a serious football operation. And so I'm calling out not just the team, but the fans and everybody around the team to be better. We all need to act like champions to become champions here. Everybody needs to become serious again. This includes the players, obviously, but the standard needs to go beyond that roster. I expect more from the coaches. I expect more from the front office. I expect more from the trainers. Nobody should be pulling a hamstring in camp right now without a full investigation of whose fault it is. I want names, I want dates, surveillance footage, anything else you could think of. I expect more from the equipment staff. Every helmet should be fitting perfectly. And I expect more from the announcers. And this was something I've been thinking about for a while because I feel like I never hear about Bob Socci anymore. 10 or 12 years ago, like I would work out to Bob Socci edits from calling the games when he would call like major Patriots moments and like say something great crazy happened for the Patriots. Like within 20 minutes, there was a cinematic masterpiece edit of sorts online. And this was 12 years ago. This was before TikTok. So it was like, I don't know, was it Vine? I don't even know. It was like YouTube pretty much.
I mean, it was on Twitter for
like on Twitter, exactly.
I mean, so, the one that pops into my head, like the Saints game.
Yes, Saints game, all of the 2014 run. So like we need slow-mo, we need orchestra music, we need Drake May staring into the distance slowly. Like I would watch it like 6 times in a row, just like doing the bench press. Not heavy, but I was doing the bench press. And so like where were those edits last season? I feel like we didn't have those edits that we normally have. The Patriots went on a Super Bowl run. I can't remember any Bob Socci calls. Am I like gone? Is he gone? I looked it up. He's still there. Has he lost his fastball? I don't know. I'm calling out Bob Socci, and in fact, he is banned from the podcast until I see a cinematic edit come through. And I don't know if I have the power to ban people from the podcast, but I am banning him. I will not be on a show with him on the podcast until we have a great edit from him. So, Bob, we need memorable calls. Start workshopping them. Seth Main is available. I know that. He can probably help you a little bit on that. And Zolak. I love Zolak. I do know he's still around. He's very loud. But I need him to be a little more focused. I need more preparation. I need him to get back in shape. I think it was 2020 he got in great shape and he kind of yo-yoed back a little bit. I think he's lost some more. I need him back in shape. I need a healthy Zoe. I can't have obese Zoe. I don't need him to be out there, running the 3-cone, like a 3-cone drill. I think we saw him do a run at some point a few years ago and he was very slow. I don't need him to be fast, but I need him in shape. And finally, like this applies to our podcast as well. We need to improve. We need better arguments, better research, better microphones. No more Via coming in here with his thoughts that he developed while sitting in traffic on the way home. LV's takes are fantastic. I have nothing against his takes. Bryson's pretty great too. I need to be better. Alper, you need to be better. We're a Super Bowl team now. We need to prepare accordingly across the board. This includes the cafeteria workers, janitors, parking attendants, everybody. We are a championship team. We need to show some more professionalism. And Bob Socci, get back to having cinematic edits. Be that good.
I love it. I love it, absolutely. I didn't even think about any, even what you said, 10 years ago, because it's been 10 years since we've had the 2014 run. It's been plus that. And you just remember every single call. Now, I don't even remember any other calls from last season. Like a Travion run in the Tampa Bay Bucks game, no remember of a radio call. None.
Yeah. I actually wrote an article about this last year because it was really, I was just talking to a friend. We really did nail last year with the articles, like every single thing that happened. We all talked about it months in advance. The MVPs, the Super Bowls, the big wins, the biggest games. We did all of that, and I felt like I was really alone for a lot of that until it felt like until like the Super Bowl, people were like, "Oh my gosh, actually, yeah, we actually are in the Super Bowl." And all year I was like trying to prepare you guys for being a winning team that's in the Super Bowl and having a quarterback that wins MVP. And the responses to my articles about like in September or October about Drake May winning MVP were like, yeah, we're not really worried about that. Or like, yeah, this year's gravy, it's all good. Whatever we do this year is good. And to the extent, and I agree with that, but I was like, no, we have to think much higher, like Luke is saying. We got to think about Super Bowls. We have to take our eye off the Miami Dolphins. We have to take our eye off the New York Jets. We got to be focused on like the Rams, and all these teams that are actually really good. We got to put ourselves into those categories. We got to think about Drake May winning MVP because I swear I will take this to my grave. I think that Patriots fans being like nonchalant about the Super Bowl and the MVP is like one of the big reasons why they lost. Actually, I'm not going to go into
an MVP, by the way.
What's that?
And also them being nonchalant about the MVP until the last minute also affected it.
Exactly. All year long.
I was calling for it, man.
Well, I'm glad you were, but a lot of people weren't. And all year long, it was like, because I've said this on the last podcast, we have this thing with Drake May. It's like you have the Mac Jones fans that are still there. You have the Tom Brady fans who are like not even Patriots fans anymore. They hate Drake May. And then you have like North Carolina Drake May fans. And then you have like guys who like Drake May in the draft and then Patriots fans. So it's like we're super split up. But all year, it was like, no, we need to embrace this guy. He needs our help. He doesn't have it. Drake May does not have the PR, okay? It's like us. It's Drake May lover. It's May is king. It's really not that much, actually. He's not getting the love from the national guys. And all year, we were like winning these arguments and bullying these guys and showing them the EPA and showing them the passer rating, the touchdowns, and all this stuff. And the only thing they could ever say was schedule. And Patriots fans were like, whatever, we don't really care that much. And when it comes to the same thing with the Super Bowl, oh, we don't care, that it's all good, whatever. And then we write the article with the Super Bowl, which gets like 500,000 views, and then people are suddenly excited, which kind of I like that, but I was like, guys, it's way too late. You should have been talking with me about this in like October. I'm glad you're here now, but this year, like Luke is saying, we're going to treat this year like a Super Bowl team yet again. And guess what? I'm not even going to talk about what happens if the Patriots don't win a Super Bowl, whatever like that. I want to have a nice, fun year where Drake May wins an MVP because I guarantee you this. I'm going to predict this. This is going to be the year where everyone feels like they owe Drake May an MVP vote if he has a good year. Everyone, because of what they said last year. Remember Brady? Remember this fraud Brady going, yeah, but Matt Stafford, and yeah, but Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
This is going to be the
but
year
look at
where
the touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly. This is going to be the year where everyone owes Drake May an MVP. And if we can force that, ride off this wave, win some games, post the stats, argue with everyone every single week, we're going to take Drake May to the MVP. Okay, Drake, look at the shirt I have. Look, I've got the Cake May shirt on right now. Let's go.
Yes.
I'm with you.
I feel
Go ahead.
I feel like another thing is everybody has a vendetta against the Patriots because they were like, oh, they're this dynasty, 20 years, they were great. And everybody was so happy when they were just irrelevant. Nobody ever cared. Nobody didn't do anything about it. And then now they're good again. And nobody wants to believe it because if you look at the mainstream media, no one is actually praising the Patriots. I mean, you have First Take, which ESPN sucks now. Granted, it is what it is. But they're like, the schedule. And then you look at, like, NFL Network's projections. You had Colleen Wolfe, who was predicting the Patriots were going to win every single game last year. And now she's like, they're going to go 9-8 now. Like, nobody believes in this team. And I feel like not a lot of people on social media or in general are even trying to defend it. They're just like, we'll let them do the talking. Like, no, step up, talk your trash. Let them know that we are back. We are here.
Yes, we lost. Like Drake May lost the MVP last season in part because Patriots fans were just like, oh, we're just kind of happy to be here until the last minute when they did go hard. Like 3 days before votes were due, they were going ham. And if they were doing that all season, like, okay, Patriots fans need to do that this upcoming season, what they did at the end there, because you found out very quickly that these AP voters, they're not Supreme Court justices. They're not applying case law to the facts and coming to a conclusion in a non-biased way. All of these voters have some level of bias. They say they don't. They will find a stat to back up whatever they want the result to be. So they need to be bullied into submission into these votes. We saw it last year. Sam Monson got away with essentially murder voting for Justin Herbert, and he got absolutely shellacked.
Yeah, by this guy.
Yes,
you're
everybody
banger on your head, Sam.
But my point is, we have the power to bully people into voting a certain way, or at least affecting their biases in a way that they don't even know it's happening. And we didn't do it enough. Oh, I think we did. Patriots fans as a whole, though, did not do that enough last season because it was a clear-cut case MVP season for Drake May, and he lost because Matt Stafford is old. It
was a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. And I guess I got a little bit off track with what I was trying to say is, though, all Patriots fans, everybody in the organization, everyone around the organization needs to act like we've been there before. We're not going into the season. We'll see. If we have 10 wins, that's cool. If we sneak into the playoffs, that's it. No, like, this is the team that can stand up against the Rams, the Seahawks, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills. We are just one of those teams. It's a fact, and we don't even have to argue anything else. So just act like it and fight for your guys. It's not just if he wins it, he wins it. No, got to fight for him.
Yeah, I think Luke, you're definitely right about this. And the thing about it is, you have to understand, and a lot of times when we're talking about Drake May, Patriots fans will actively fight you. They'll be like, yeah, but they'll argue with you. It's like, no, I've tried to say this all year. Your job is to stand Drake May as hard as you possibly can. You let Chiefs fans tell you that he's not good. Let Raiders fans, let Broncos fans tell you he's not good. You're a Patriots fan. Who cares? Who cares if it's hyperbole, whatever? Just we stand Drake May. Retweet the stats, reply the stats. Don't take a step back to these people. It's so easy. And you saw that literally in the last couple of days. And like Luke is saying, you could see in real time, Orlovsky is like, you could see it in his face. And he's like, I'm going to get demolished if I vote for Matt Stafford, which he did anyway, by the way. But this year, it started in the off season. As soon as he started posting things like he was saying, well, Drake May's got a lot of good weapons this year, I immediately replied, and it got like a lot of impressions. And I said, oh, is this the excuse you're going to use to not vote for Drake May for MVP this year when he's awesome? And everyone started liking and retweeting it. And you have to actually set the narrative first, and you win the narrative, and then you walk away from it. And those people actually, because of the backlash online, think about yourself if you tweet, because a lot of people just watch, they don't tweet. You're scared to talk about Patrick Mahomes. Like a lot of people are scared to talk about Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or all these good quarterbacks because their fans will absolutely just abuse you online forever. Even Jalen Hurts, right? These fans will destroy you. And so I want Patriots fans to be like that. I want, when you talk about Drake May, I want 150,000 Patriots fans replying to you and ratioing you to oblivion, which we set the standard. So I try to do that too. But I agree with you. I think this is right. And as I'm watching all this stuff going on, I think we might have missed one thing that I did want to talk about, if you guys don't mind, the offensive line for like 5 minutes, maybe.
Of course.
Love offensive line.
I want to finish with this. Is when the joint practice happens, if we have a joint practice, the Eagles fans are going to come at me specifically, and it's going to be ugly. But vice versa, if we dominate this joint practice, they're not going to hear the end of it.
I love Eagles fans, by the way. They are great.
I can't stand them.
Well, they are great at what they do. Like Bryson was saying, we need to.
Yeah.
I don't want to say we don't need to be more like them. We just need to get back to what we were in 2018, 2019,
Oh yeah.
pre-COVID.
That
And
pressure.
yeah,
Yeah, we need that pressure. Alper, are you going to be at joint practices?
I'm gonna try.
You're
I'm
not
kind of
scared of
broke right
Eagles
now.
fans, right? We'll walk around with you. You're not scared of these Eagles fans.
I'm
We'll
not
be
scared
okay.
of anybody.
We'll be okay. We'll be fine, and they'll be nice to us. It'll be perfectly fine. I'd love to see you there. That'd be awesome. But yeah, you're totally right about that. You know, the one last thing that I see people talking about, and this is hilarious. The players I like, when they have good snaps in practice, that means they're good. When the players I like have bad snaps in practice, that means practice doesn't matter. Me and OB have been saying this all year, and it is actually really true. So, we're talking today about the offensive line because last year I was called a madman. All right, and I'm not saying I'm some sort of football genius, but last year I said, look. I know what you saw from Vidarian Lowe last year, but I swear he's healthy this year. If you just start him at left tackle, you put Campbell beside of him, Wilson, Bradbury in the middle, and Weno and Moses, your line will be much better than it would be. You have your five best players on the line there. You don't have to you don't have to worry about so much when you have Vidarian Lowe out there. As crazy as that sounds, it makes it easier for Will Campbell. And when Vidarian Lowe came in, the Patriots run game immediately got better, by the way. And I did think by the end of that was their best lineup essentially, and Ben Brown was in there too. But I think Will Campbell is, last year I said he was one of their best linemen. I just think particularly he would be much better at left guard. Now I'm going to go on this is not popular right now, so I'm probably going to get ratioed for this. I was talking about this with a friend, Joe A NFL, who he likes to shit on my Patriots takes, but I'm like, okay, the best Patriots lineup is probably something like, because Lomu did not play right tackle at Utah. He did for a little bit, and then he switched over. They didn't like him there, and I'm one of the people that would tell you like anyone can switch, it doesn't matter. But they put him over there, and he was awesome there. And now the Patriots are doing the thing, and Doug Kyatt is all mad at me because he's practicing at guard now. And I'm like, Doug, what is going on? He's like, have you seen their guard depth? I'm like, okay, I love you, Doug, but this is probably should be your starting left tackle. And he's taking backup guard reps. This is absolutely insane to me. So to fix that, I'd be like, I would fix this immediately. I would say Caleb Lomu is one of my five best linemen. That's what I would declare. I would say he's one of my five best. I would put him at left tackle. I would put Campbell at either left guard or center, and I would put AVT at left guard or center, and then I would have Onwenu, and then I would have Moses. And I would say I would declare this is a big lineup, this is a strong lineup, and this is a good lineup for Drake Maye. It's a gigantic lineup, by the way. It's exactly what the Patriots want, to play big bully ball. I think we should consider this and put a pin in this idea. But I need to see Lomu more in practice, which will get way more reps in joint practices and training camp and see, because you see Greg Bedard is saying that he's losing these reps. But the hilarious thing is, like, Will Campbell was awesome today. Oh yeah, what happened today? Well, there was 2 reps today. It's like 2 reps in practice. Okay, we're talking about 2 reps in practice, and I'm trusting you that you're telling me the correct thing. I'm trusting you that you're telling me the correct thing. So I just think that Will Campbell, I think he's a good player. Seriously, in all seriousness, I think he's an A run blocker. He's like a B to C plus pass blocker. Maybe he'll be much better this year. I just think it would benefit the entire team if he would play. And you know what? The last thing I'll say about this, why does Caleb Lomu not have the political capital that Will Campbell does in the Patriots? He's taking snaps at guard. He's taking snaps at the other side of the line. Will Campbell does none of this stuff. They're scared to death of Will Campbell. Imagine they play him at guard, practice him at guard. They would never do this to Will Campbell, despite him struggling badly. They would not. They didn't bench him in the Super Bowl, and they probably should have. Which that's like probably 40% of the reason why they lost is Will Campbell being in the game, hurt or not. Why does he get all this political capital within the Patriots, and Caleb Lomu gets none of it, despite a lot of people thinking that coming out maybe he is a better tackle, and we'll see about that. I think there's a good chance he's the best tackle on their team, and now the Patriots are like screwing around with him at guard in practice because they need depth or something stupid like that. This is like saying, yeah, the Patriots only have one tight end, so they're playing Pop Douglas at tight end. It's like, okay, that seems like really ridiculous to me. No, it's actually really smart. They don't have depth. They need Pop Douglas in there. It's stupid, okay?
And this goes back to what I was saying earlier. What is the goal this season? This is not a developmental season like you could have argued last offseason. The goal is to win a championship this year. And you know who would make that tough decision as much as Patriots fans kind of shit on him these days? It's Bill Belichick. Will Campbell would have been left guard right now. I have no doubts about it. I don't want to put words in Bill Belichick's mouth. He probably wouldn't have drafted Will Campbell, to be honest with you, because the fact that Caleb Lomu, who was drafted as a left tackle, is currently on the depth chart as a backup right tackle makes no logical sense to me other than that they are protecting Will Campbell's feelings. And protecting Will Campbell's feelings is not a championship decision, in my opinion. A championship decision is putting the players in the best position to succeed. And that also means putting the players around them in the best position to succeed. And what puts Drake May in the best position to succeed? Is it by putting Will Campbell at left tackle, where Drake May got sacked 47 times in 2025? Or is it we just drafted another left tackle in the first round who a lot of people had as a top 10, top 15 talent at left tackle and trying to be better at that position and making Drake more comfortable back there? I would argue that the championship decision is just that. And I'm actually, I have felt a little bit like Vrabel has gotten maybe a little bit overly hated as a coach in general. But I actually think this is a very a weak position for him to take. And I think it's, as a coach, him not being comfortable doing this to Will Campbell, it kind of just goes to his detractors. They could say, look, guy doesn't want to give up on his decision. He can't admit that he's wrong. He hates being wrong. I mean, Will Campbell was the fourth pick. He doesn't want to admit that he drafted a guard at 4. It's just not a championship decision in my mind, unless Will Campbell comes out this season and is a borderline Pro Bowler or a Pro Bowler. And I doesn't sound like that's what we're going to see out of him coming up.
I'm not I don't want to give up on Will Campbell just yet because of how when he played. Besides that Browns game, when granted anybody could go up against Myles Garrett and you're probably going to suck, but I mean he was decent, he was good, and I agree with Bryson how I don't think he should have been playing in any of those playoff games because it came out that once the season ended, he was rehabbing 5 days a week for his knee. He clearly was probably at 30% when we could have got Vidarian Lowe out there giving 100% and playing probably 5 times as better. I think that, I mean, from what we saw in training camp, he's been solid. He's been winning most of his reps. We'll see what truly happens once we get into joint practice. Because if you guys remember last year with the Vikings practice, he got his teeth kicked in. He was getting bullied all over the place. But I would probably, I mean, can you give him 6 weeks to just see how he is? But if it went 6 weeks into the season and if he sucks, then maybe you go and move. But I don't want to give up on him just yet.
But I don't even care if you give him 6 weeks. That's totally fine with me. But you mentioned that he was injured last year. Who knows if he gets injured again this season, and we're going to need Caleb Lomu playing left tackle week 5. He's not getting reps at left tackle right now. We are 35 days away from the season. We have James Hudson III as our backup left tackle right now. So
he sucked with the Giants, man.
So even if you want to protect Will Campbell, you want to believe in Will Campbell all you can. And okay, Lomu, this is a gap year. You're going to play swing tackle. I don't care. That's fine. I'm fine with starting with Will Campbell out there and seeing what happens. But even just protecting against injury, or if he sucks, then you're going to plop Caleb Lomu over there after not practicing there all summer. Now we have 35 days. Maybe they will do that when there's less media around. I'm not sure. But that's a really bad decision to me. You need to get him the reps, whether or not he's going to start there or not. Him playing why? The only logical conclusion I can come to for why he's not getting those reps right now is because it's going to hurt Will Campbell's feelings and hurt his confidence. And that's not a guy you want at left tackle. You want a guy at left tackle who wants to hit his grandmother. Like, that's who I want. I don't want some soft guy with no chin who wears a goatee to make it pretend like he does have a chin. That's not who I want. I'm just a little angered by the process here, and perhaps I'm going a little bit overboard. But this all just reeks of we're protecting a guy's feelings instead of trying to win a championship, and I don't like it.
I agree to that standpoint because, like what Bryson said, like if we're playing Caleb Lomo at every position, get him some reps at left tackle. But why didn't we do that with Will Campbell last year? It doesn't make much sense at all. And if Will Campbell can't handle that as a grown-ass man, as a guy that's going to be in the NFL, because you can clearly see that Morgan Moses is a lot more mature. Like, he needs to grow up.
He's just a baby, but he's just a little baby. He needs to grow up. It's okay.
Something that was very telling to me, and I hate being the old guy sometimes, but sometimes I'm the old guy. We have a big chat. And we all talk in the chat, and sometimes we have unpopular takes with them. And I try to steer them in the more mature direction, right? When we saw Will Campbell at the Celtics game, like 1 or 2 weeks post-injury, chugging a beer on the Megatron with his shirt off. Now, you tell me, is that the best use of his time to be at a Celtics game chugging beer? Would his doctor recommend? Would anyone recommend this? No one would recommend this. And even if it was like just perfectly fine, just the sights of that is not okay. Like, you're supposed to be rehabbing. You're not even with the team. You're like chugging a beer, whatever. And then when Patriots fans tweet about him, he's like legitimately crying in front of the reporters. I don't know if you guys remember that last year. He was like actually in tears talking about like, we don't know anything and we're stupid and all this stuff. It's like, we're Patriots fans. We've been around longer than you, dude. You're not even that old. We've been here. We've seen many left tackles come and go, okay? You're not the only one. And people that were much better than you have taken much more. Like Nate Solder was an awesome tackle for the Patriots, and he got a lot of stuff sometimes. And Nate Solder never said one word, but of course, Will Campbell.
Marcus Cannon.
Absolutely. Who was an all-pro at one point.
Marcus Cannon was awesome.
Never said one thing to anyone the entire time. And in fact, the moment, and I'm like you guys, I want Will Campbell to be good. I don't want Drake May to get hit 50 times. Like, the point of drafting Will Campbell and not Tet, who's going to be an awesome top 10 wide receiver if he's not already. The point of that was your quarterback doesn't get hit. And the fact of the matter is they drafted him. Drake May still got hit like over 50 times, including the playoffs, like Luke said. But the one thing this year, when I saw that team headshot of Will Campbell last year, he's smiling. He's all excited. I swear, all of you right now in the chat, look up his headshot from this year. His eyes are completely drained from his soul. Completely drained from his soul. It looks like he has come back from war. And I'm like, that is not good. And you see these pictures, and Boris is talking about in the chat, Trent Brown, or the huge tackle last year. And like Will Campbell, I think he's like a good player, but the problem is he is so tall and his arms are short. So you see him bending forward a lot and reaching.
He has short arms?
No, yeah, he does. He had arm lengthening surgery, and I'm not sure that it's worked quite yet. But
I didn't know that he had short arms.
Yeah, it's like,
T-Rex.
but people would be like, tell you, oh, short arms. It's like, actually, yes. If you fundamentally look at his mechanics, look at his body. Imagine a tall person with short arms trying to bend down all the way. And now, to Alper's point, I want you to think about this, okay? It's week 1. The Patriots go out there. We're all excited. Everyone has been talking shit all year. The Seahawks are getting ready to drop a banner on the Patriots' head, and everyone wants revenge, right? The Patriots go out there, and Will Campbell gets decimated. Now imagine that. He gets decimated all game. It's like, maybe it's not as bad, but it's close to as bad. He just gets decimated all game long. What is everyone going to be saying then? You know what they're going to be saying.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Will Campbell's a much better player than these guys, but it reminds me of the Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi stuff. Immediately when he comes back to the Patriots, people are going to boo when he's in the game. It's going to be insane if that happens. I'm not saying it is, but imagine the scenario where he just gets dominated and they drop the banner. Patriots lose. They start off 0-1 in their Super Bowl run season. Terrible look. Will Campbell absolutely has to come out there and play awesome. Otherwise, there's going to be someone posting a picture of him in an Amazon uniform delivering a package. I'm not sure.
It's going to be LB.
I'm glad you didn't say it. Yeah, I feel bad about that, but it's like if he doesn't play good week 1, man, he is in for it because it's not just Patriots fans. He went viral last year from non-Patriots fans. When non-Patriots fans figure out that one of your players on your team isn't good and he goes viral for it, that is generally a sign that things are swinging in a terrible. I can't remember the last time that it actually came back and was okay. This is not good. That scenario, I don't want that.
And it's also going to kill his confidence because you know that he can't really handle it from what we saw last year. And it's just going to be an ongoing situation the entire year. If he plays bad, it's no coming back from that. It might be over from the start if he plays bad that week 1, because you go in week 2 and guess who you got to go up against? You're going up against TJ Watt. It's not going to be any better.
Well, yes, but it just goes back to the point in it's malpractice at this point for Caleb Lobu not to be getting reps at left tackle, because if that happens and Campbell just is done at left tackle immediately, then we're in for a long season, in my opinion. If we don't have a left tackle ready to go. People have said in the past, left tackle is more important than right tackle, and that kind of got pushed back in the analytics department in the past 15 years. Both tackles are just as important. Left tackle is pretty damn important for your team, and if we're fumbling around over there, we see what happens with Patrick Mahomes when his line isn't working properly. We're just going to be in for a long season. If Campbell is not working out and we don't have Lomu ready to go, what's next? It's James Hudson is going in a football game this season. Like that, is that a championship team at that point? I would say no.
No, not with the defenses that are so good in the AFC. Going up against a team like the Texans, personally, I don't think the Broncos are going to be that great this year, but like a team like the Texans where their defense is unbelievable, you're not going to be able to move the ball down the field if they keep getting pressure on Drake May. And the left tackle is going to mean everything. It's going to be Marshall Newhouse all over again from 2019.
I've had enough O-line talk.
All right, what's next? What's next, Luke?
How about we talk about friend of the pod, Gabe Osama. Gabe
Yeah.
And this guy has muscles growing out of his elbows. He has an 8-pack, and he is out. I don't know if you guys have seen this picture. I don't know if people listening have seen this picture. I hope so. I think it was from today or from yesterday, where Gabe Akis is standing in front of the media, and he's got his jersey Sean Oakman style, so you can see his 8-pack abs. And someone just snapped a picture of him. It might have been Mark Daniels. And unbeknownst to the female reporter behind Gabe Akis, she's in the background, and she's just staring at his 8-pack abs.
Wait, you know who that was, right?
No, who was it?
Wait, Alper, you know who that was, right?
Is it Sophie?
Yes.
Who is it? Sophie.
She's such a Sophie Weller. She covers the Patriots. She's such a sweet girl. I met her at the Super Bowl, and she does a good job.
I'm not lacking.
No, keep
I understand it because I was also just staring at his abs.
So was I. Granted, when that came out, I was just like, "Oh my!" This dude, to quote Vrabel, the dude just said, "He looks like an outside linebacker." That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, this guy is. He's not going to be told what position to play. He's not going to be told when to go. He is just going to say when he wants to go out there. He's going to say what he wants to do, and he's going to. AJ Brown has been talking nonstop in every single clip, and I love AJ Brown. I'm so happy he's here. But every single clip, he just says, "I can't wait to impose my will on the defense." He says that like every single time. Gabe Akis is going to impose his will on every single tackle in front of him. I have never been so certain about just looking at a dude and knowing he's going to be great. I didn't. I barely really. I'm not a big college football guy, so I didn't know too much about him going into the draft. And when they picked him, I was just saying they need an edge, so I'm fine with it. This guy is an athletic specimen. If he can put together any semblance of skill to go along with that athleticism, he's going to be dominant, in my opinion.
So he out in Illinois, I mean, from what my research was back when I was looking at draft stuff, like he was one of the top pass rush win rates in FBS football. I mean, you're double digit sack guy, absolutely behemoth. But the one thing that kind of what I was looking at edge rushers was just somebody that could set the edge, because that was just what Calebon Chason could not do. And that's one thing that Gabe Akis can really, really do.
Osama's been resurrected. I'm assuming Osama is his middle name, which is kind of badass. It just makes him even scarier, in my opinion. I want an Osama 50 jersey. He's wearing 50, right? That's his number.
Unless he changes it after practice, I would assume. Yeah. I mean, Bryson was trying to get him to get Mike Vrabel to come out and wear the 50 jersey and have them go up one-on-one against each other.
Do an Oklahoma drill, and winner gets the 50 jersey. I don't know. Vrabel's just like a big, giant piece of meat. Like, I don't know. He still has muscle mass, but I feel like it's muscle mass that just hasn't left his body since his playing days. But I feel like he could probably still somewhat hold his own against him. Now, one thing that I don't know, have you guys talked about much, is the fact that this guy was a wrestler as well. And I think that makes sense because of just how freakishly strong he is, while also having like a size 31 waist, which you don't see. Like when I look at Gabe Osama, I feel like he looks like prime Giancarlo Stanton when he was on the Marlins, who he was just like absolutely ripped, like 5% body fat, and his waist was the smallest thing you've ever seen. Just like Dorito body, Dorito shoulders or whatever. So I think that we have a good one opposite of Draymond Jones, because I brought this up on our live stream. I think the depth at edge is pretty bad on this team. So Akis needs to be something here. A lot of pressure on him as a rookie. I don't see any reason why he's not going to get a ton of playing time right away, assuming he's healthy.
For me, it was just like when the whole Akis situation was going down, and I mean, you had at one point Albert Breer saying, "Yeah, this might be a redshirt year." I was freaking out because you just have Draymond Jones, who, I mean, he's, I guess you could say, above average. And then you going with, I love Elijah Ponder to death, but do I really have trust in a second-year UDFA? And then Braden Swinson, who couldn't make the 53-man roster, and you were just forced to kind of have Jesse Lukado on the team. You had to go. I still think that they should go out and sign another edge, but apparently they didn't even want to think about Jadeveon Clowney, which I thought would have been a perfect guy for this team.
Yeah, I just talked about this today, actually, and I was like, if I'm creating the Patriots' best lineup, remember the problems they had last year. They brought in Jones, who's going to set a good edge on outside, and then have Akis beside Milton Williams out there. Just play it that way. Have Jones by Barmore. You've got actually, I would not put Durden there because he's complete canceled by Pat Chat because he hates us and unfollowed us. Put someone else in there. Luke, you have a suggestion for a defensive tackle that plays well, right?
Get Leonard Taylor in there. We love Leonard Taylor.
I do love Leonard Taylor.
Put him in there. He still follows me, but I like this lineup the best. And like you said, Akis, people complicated this. They were like, he's not gonna practice. What's going on? It's like Luke said, he's an elite wrestler. He benches over 500 pounds. He's an absolute specimen of a guy. He's the guy that walks into practice and there's nothing wrong. Now, even you would say someone like Trent Brown, if he's not practicing so much, maybe you have a problem with that because he's huge, but he's not like in shape.
He's injury prone, yeah.
Akis is in shape and he was trained the entire time. And Patriots fans actually do kind of like owe this guy an apology. That's why I got an I Heart Gabe Akis shirt, is because they were just like shitting on this guy all year and didn't understand what was going on. And his knee is not like people were saying he was going to fail a physical. He's practicing right now. There's nothing wrong with his knee. Someone needs to be held accountable. Who's putting out this information? That's terrible information, by the way. He's out there practicing perfect fine. What we said on here was we said Akis had a knee scope. He was in a contractual disagreement. He had a knee scope, perfectly fine. He'll be ready to go. He signs immediately ready to go, and he's texting Vrabel every day and wants to practice. He's an absolute stud. Put him out there, let him be fast, and clean up the messes that Williams and Barmore and Leonard Taylor have created. I want to see that. That's the best person of the Patriots defense. They set a nice edge, and you let Akis and these guys do what they want. I'm telling you right now, you wait. You thought it was bad last year when Keon White was blowing Will Campbell's spot up in practice. Wait until Gabe Akis goes out there and has his shirt like tucked just to like underneath of his chest pads and his abs are showing, and he throws Will Campbell on the ground as just stepping over him. I mean, we saw it with Vrabel. You could see it in his face when he's holding the pads after he just blew up Mike Smith. Akis is like, he's like, I'm afraid that Akis is going to just put me on my ass, which, by the way, someone messaged me on X after I said this, and they were like, dude, him putting Mike Smith on his butt does not mean he is a good player. It's like, dude, are we kidding right now?
Yeah, it's not about him putting on his ass. It's about the aggression that you can see from him, especially in the first practice. You don't see that from other players.
Exactly. I want to see him do that to Mike Vrabel. I want to see him do it.
I want to see him suplex Will Campbell, like Brock Lesnar style. I was making myself laugh while you guys were talking. Bryson mentioned his wrestling background. First off, I'm surprised Brock Lesnar didn't work out in the NFL. It was probably just because he got into football too late. But if Gabe Akis is Brock Lesnar, if Brock Lesnar started playing football in high school more consistently, I think Brock Lesnar was more of a wrestler. But I'm laughing thinking about Akis putting Will Campbell on his shoulders and just F5ing his ass in the middle of practice with media presence. I think that would actually ruin Will Campbell's entire career, I bet.
Yeah, but it was just one rep. That's what they're going to say. Yeah, Will Campbell looked great today, except for one rep where he got suplexed to the absolute oblivion.
He got F5. Yeah, he got F5 that one rep.
That's exactly what they would look.
It would look awesome to see, like, once we get to the joint practice next week, like, if he wraps up Jonathan Taylor and just ragdolls him. I just need to see how strong he is.
I need Gabe to F5 somebody. That's all. I've banned somebody on the podcast today, and I'm also asking a player to do something very important for me, and that is to get a lineman on his shoulders and F5 them to the ground. It doesn't even hurt them. It's just controlling them, which embarrasses them. He might get a 15-yard penalty out of it, but preseason, just do it. He can do it. Yeah. He could lift. Will Campbell's how much? Like 320 pounds?
310, 315?
He could lift Will Campbell over his shoulders like an Atlas stone. Like, hey, how about that? That wouldn't embarrass Will too much. Just put him on your back like an Atlas stone. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. That would make me very happy. I might make a T-shirt of Gabe Akis with an Atlas stone on his back, actually. You think that would sell? Title Talk merch?
I think that would sell.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is if we need to make a sign, and we need to, I'll be the one. I will be the one to wrestle Gabe Akis. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll get slammed by Gabe Akis. It'll be fun. I'll go out there with a sign that says, "Please wrestle me, Gabe Akis. I love you," with my I Heart Gabe Akis shirt. And he'll just come out there and start pawing at me, and we'll start wrestling. I would love that, actually.
That'd be awesome to see.
I mean, no offense, but I think that would be over quite quickly.
Oh yeah, because I would heel hook him in 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
No, I'm just kidding. Whoa, Akis, whoa! I didn't actually mean that. Whoa, I'm just kidding.
Bryson, do you think that we're bullying Will Campbell a little bit here today. I'm sorry. We love him. We want him to succeed. Do you think Will Campbell? He's massive man. He doesn't do jujitsu, but he's double your weight. Do you think that you'd win a match against him?
What kind of match are we talking about? What are
A,
the
a wrestling match, like a standard wrestling match.
Oh, a standard wrestling match. I don't know about that. I'm not
Yeah.
like that's a little bit different. But we're talking about a jiu-jitsu match. I mean, that would be that's he's a big
Mr.
guy.
Purple Belt.
That would be pretty rough. But I feel like I should be able to. If we're in a standard jiu-jitsu match, I feel like I probably might win.
I got you. You can get your arms around him. You think?
I don't know that I would have. I don't know that I would do that or not. I would just. You have to like rely on them doing something extremely stupid because there's just not going to be that much. Actually, one of my good friends started center for Marshall's football team, and he's about Will Campbell's size, maybe an inch or so shorter than him, and he's gigantic. And every time he comes in, I'm like, dude, let's go. I want to wrestle you, for fun, not like to brag or anything. I just want to see what it's like to wrestle someone that's like actually that big, because it's going to be hard to take them down no matter what. He's gigantic. If he grabs a hold of me, he could just launch me. That's the issue right there. So
Yep.
we're going to be in a stalemate of him launching me across the room, which he probably could do. But once you guys have seen the meme. Once he enters that little me scooting on my butt thing, big problem. Big problem, man. I'm grabbing hold of that big heel. No, it would be hard, man, honestly. No matter what, it would be hard. Because also, a really good thing in jiu-jitsu is it's ironic, but they call it having T-Rex arms. You keep your arms in so people cannot grab them.
So he's gonna be awesome.
So he might. Hey, Will, I will listen. I'm not the best, but I will actually train you. And then what if we have at the end of the year, after February, we have Akis versus Will Campbell, a year of Will Campbell getting privately trained by me versus Akis, who does. I don't think he does jiu-jitsu. And we'll put them in a jiu-jitsu match and see who wins.
Yeah, you can't let Akis know either, so he can't train at all. It has to be like a surprise.
Oh, if
I'd probably still take. Well, I'd probably
Oh,
still
I'm
take
taking
Gabe
Akis,
Akis.
If Akis found out he's a wrestler, he would be like, "Yeah, I practiced football today and I did jiu-jitsu 5 times a day." That would be Gabe Akis 100%.
I love Akis so much because this is just becoming an Akis podcast, which I'm fine with.
Cool, me.
I like guys who like they look like they would murder you, and in an athletic situation they will murder you, and then you hear them speak and they're like the guy from the Green Mile, like the sweetest man ever, and that's what Gabe Akis seems like.
Yeah.
I just like those guys. I'm trying to think of like other players who are like that, but
I mean, you have Calais Campbell, where it's just
Yeah,
that dude seems like a behemoth, and he sounds like a behemoth. Like he doesn't have that sweet voice. He sounds like a monster.
Honestly, Trent Brown too. As much as he doesn't look like anything, that is a huge, strong guy.
yeah. But I think there's something to that. I'm gonna do a little research before.
Gronk, how about Gronk?
Yeah.
Gronk, yeah.
That's a
Gronk
big
was a
deal.
little nasty on the field though. He would talk trash a lot. I don't know if that's how Gabe is or not, but well, I guess we'll have to see.
Someone in our chat, Pats are back, just sent a picture of Caleb Luna walking in like it's his first day of school. And he's like smiling with his chest out with his backpack on. And he said, this guy is going to get absolutely steamrolled respectfully. I just commented. I was like, L take. But I mean, you do look at Loma, which is a good move for me. And I'm like, you do get those vibes when you look at him, and he's been not doing the best. But I just have a funny feeling it's going to work out. He looks like a kid that's in an adult's body, which is weird. But I just have a funny feeling that it's going to work out.
I have a feeling once he gets on the field, he turns into like a different type of person. Like he's like that friendly, nice guy, but the second the helmet goes on, the second he gets on the line of scrimmage, he's like an aggressive MRFer, and you're like, you don't even want to mess with him.
He's got like a good like basic personality. I think I don't. He's not like try hard at all like some guys are. He's not super soft spoken or anything like that. I just think he's like a pretty normal normal dude, and I think his play will kind of do the talking, which I think is good. A lot of guys are like hardo, but you can tell that it's like a fake, it's a front. There's some guys who are just like that. That's just who they are. But there's a lot of people who just try to be that guy who they're not. And I think Lomu just seems natural, and I think that lends well to that position. Tackle is similar to corner in my book, where you have to have a very short memory and not ever be too up, never be way too down. And Lomu's personality just seems like, he can put a bad play behind him. Whereas, man, we love Will, but like you saw Will just be deflated after a few of those plays in the Super Bowl, and other games as well.
When he got decleated, it was just I was screaming just to bring in Vidarian Lowe, and I never thought I'd ever get to that point after that 2024 season to ever want Vidarian Lowe back anywhere near the football field.
Bryson was always a big low guy, even in those seasons.
Oh, huge low
it was the rest of the line was terrible. So it just like you can always find a bad play in there, and Lowe would just get the brunt of it for whatever reason. But once he was put on a more competent line, he wasn't hurt. I was at the Ravens game where the Patriots made the comeback, and my friend who I was sitting next to, he's a pretty big football fan. He's a Ravens fan, and he said, because he watched like most of the Patriots games that year, goes, you guys aren't winning that game if Vidarian Lowe was not your left tackle in that game, and Will Campbell was. And I was just like, you're right, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think Lowe got a little bit of the short end of the stick in 2024. It wasn't really his fault for.
He wasn't as bad as Michael Jordan, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
Lowe is better than Michael Jordan at many things. I just love the edit, the edit that one guy made of Lowe with the touchdown and here comes Vidarian Lowe.
Vidarian Lowe.
That's so beast mode, dude. I love it. We need a petition for Josh McDaniels to do this with Caleb Lomu, because could you imagine his celebration dance after taking he gets in at extra tight end and Drake May throws him a touchdown? That would the roof would be exploding.
And a perfect Bob Sochi call to pair with it. Oh, that'd be so good.
I mean, just run the same exact play you ran with Nate Soldier back in the playoff game. What was it, 12 years ago?
I mean, that's the only play you can make with a tackle. So yes, more of that, please. Let's get more fullback involved too, Bryson. How's that sound?
Oh, fullback. Yeah, that sounds amazing. And I love fullbacks. I love fullbacks. I love them. I hate them so much. I stand the only one that people don't like, and that's Landon Roberts.
Yeah, you're not a Devlin guy either, right?
No, I don't like Devlin, and that's sacrilegious. But I just look at him and like, this guy's slow. I always thought this guy is slow. I cannot believe when you split him out that defenses are just like, yeah, we actually have to cover him. I can't believe they're actually doing that. Didn't make any sense to me ever. And my vibes were actually, I think, right, because then Landon Roberts came in there and he just immediately did all the stuff Devlin did and a little bit better, honestly. Remember that huge touchdown he has and just absolutely smacking people in the mouth?
Was that against the Dolphins?
That was against the Dolphins.
Catch, right? Are you talking about the catch or when he was blocking?
Yeah, with the Dolphins catch. And it's like, imagine you're a defender and you see Devlin coming at you. Not good, right? He's a big, strong guy, but he's a former defensive end. Now, imagine you're a defensive guy and you see a Landon Roberts running at you who's literally knocking people out routinely, and he's smacking you in the face. So it's not that I don't like Devlin. I'm just like, I think he's a little bit overrated. And people are like, dude, we won the freaking Super Bowl because James Devlin was in there. It's like, just maybe calm down a little bit, okay?
Well,
just maybe.
Speaking of slow, I want just put Milton Williams at fullback, man. James Devlin, okay.
They did.
We don't need to get into fullback talk. It's going to be a quick one. But James Devlin coming down the pipe there for a linebacker versus Milton Williams coming down the pipe, you might say, well, James Devlin's going to get there faster or quicker and get his hands on them quick. James Devlin's 40 time was over 5 seconds.
He was nothing.
Yeah. Milton Williams,
slow as hell.
Milton Williams ran a sub 4.7 as a massive.
He's a beast.
Defensive tackle.
He's a beast.
Milton Williams might actually be the best best fullback in terms of run blocking in the league if he wanted to commit to that full time.
I loved when Tonga came in last year. Loved it.
Yeah, it's awesome when you see stuff like that, and it reminds you that it's actually not that hard. You just put a guy in there that's a little bit bigger, and he can do it. But I think the Patriots really screwed up when they didn't remember that goal line series when Milton Williams was in there at fullback, and they didn't hand him the ball. The whole time in my head, I was thinking, if they don't hand him the ball, the Patriots are not winning a Super Bowl. And then they didn't do it, and I was like, whoa, no, this is not happening. This year, I want to see all that shit this year. I want to see Milton Williams with the fullback handoffs. I want to see Lomo with the touchdowns in the end zone. I want to see all of this trickery stuff, okay? I'm no A.J. Brown 20 touchdowns. Every time. I want fantasy people to just go off every single week. That's what I want the Patriots' reputation going to be. They're just going to get to the line and hand it to Milton Williams, or they're just going to get to the line and throw it to Caleb Lomo.
Just think this goes back to the domination thing. You score a touchdown with Milton Williams, the other team is just their soul is taken. I think about like what the Chiefs were doing in prime Chiefs years. They were like doing that like spinorama like 1950s play, like literally just like to the other team, you cannot stop us. You suck. We are going to do a tornado play in the middle of an important game for us. And I actually don't think it worked out, but it didn't really affect the outcome of the game. I want shit like that. Josh McDaniels, I know you have Bill Belichick's dad's book on football plays. Pull something out of there. I mean, I have that book too, but like let's pull something out of the 1940s, 1950s. We got the players. We got the players for it.
100%.
I like it. I mean, you saw they sucked last year, so it really didn't matter. But the Titans, they ran a touchdown play with Jeffrey Simmons. Why can't we do it with Milton Williams?
100%, man. Now, Luke, I think Luke has some stuff for us, Alper. If you've got time, we can go through this.
I got plenty of time. The over-under stuff.
All right.
Over-unders for us.
You know I'm a betting man.
Oh my gosh, I'm not putting any money on any of this. This is all you get. I'll just go with it.
I love over-unders. I think they're a lot of fun. This is not like DraftKings over-unders. There are some of those in there, or whoever wants to sponsor us, I'll put you in there next time. But Qatar Airways, this is the Qatar Airways Patriots over-under board for 2026. Some of these are a little more serious than others, but I think it'll be a good conversation. And anyone listening, like, let's hear what you got to say. I'm gonna actually pull up the live chat here.
It's not working for me, so I see there's almost 300 people in here, and I'm like, the chat's just not working. It's not working for me, so okay. I see there's
Sorry, let me mute that. All right, I got the chat open. Maybe it'll work. Leave some comments in there. You guys play.
I want to see some comments.
All right, we're gonna start hot. Patriots national scandals over under 1.5 this season, and this before we can answer, it's kind of important for us to discuss whether the Mike Vrabel offseason one counts for this season or not, because that'll probably affect how we discuss whether it's going to be over 1.5, because then we would just need one more. Otherwise, we would need 2. Last year, I'm just thinking about what we had. We had a lot of Stephon Diggs stuff going on. It was like 3 or 4 on his own. So we had a Christian Barmore one. I don't know if we want to count it per player. I don't think we're going to have any players like Diggs this season unless he comes back, and we want Diggs back. So first off, does the Vrabel scandal count for this season, yes or no?
Nothing old, but if anything new, yes. If there's anything new, like maybe there was other people involved, and you know what? I hate to even bring this up again, but our friend Tony Farmer is talking, and I think he asked the right question. But he really does ask the correct question, because think about it. Drake May lost an MVP because Dan Orlovsky voted for Matt Stafford, and they're good buddies, right? Then you have Vrabel, who I think he won Coach of the Year probably way more, but he brings up a good point that Vrabel wins Coach of the Year, but did Rossini, what was the ballot like with Ben Johnson and Vrabel? I would love to see that. Now, if that comes out, that's kind of, I think that like might be a little bit of a big deal, that kind of collusion. It's not going to be something where the Patriots are like, let's get rid of this guy. And I don't think anything else, unless it's terribly bad, would be like that. I can't even imagine a scenario that would happen. But anything new, I think you have to actually, you will count that.
Okay. Well,
I would say, I mean, I still have this like bad feeling in the back of my head. I'm gonna say no, but I do think
you think under one.
Like I don't want to keep bringing it up. Yeah, I don't want to bring up the scandal again, but I just have this weird feeling that because it's week 1, it's the beginning of the season. Like somebody is sitting on something, and like 2 days before they're gonna bring it to the public, like another picture or something. I hope it doesn't happen, but like it feels like I have that feeling because it just boom went out of nowhere.
Okay, so you're going under 1.5 this season.
Yeah.
I am going to go over. The Patriots are. I mean, even if the Patriots are good at all, they take so much attention that someone's going to dig something up about some player, whether it's silly or not. There's going to be a time where a player just does something stupid during the season. Like we can't really. That's any team really. So I think we're kind of covered for one, and then the other one is just if something else drops to get over that 1.5 mark. So I'm going to take 2, especially because I kind of consider that we pretty much had 4 last season with all the dig stuff and the Barmore thing. Bryson?
I think I'm going to have to, just based on the Patriots' reputation, I think I'm going to have to go over on this one.
Yeah, I think it's a safe bet. This next one is a little bit more for the Eagles fans out there because I know that they think that A.J. Brown is going to blow up on the Patriots. He's a selfish player, et cetera, et cetera. A.J. Brown had multiple sideline incidents as a member of the Eagles. Most infamously, I would say, is him reading a book on the sidelines, which I thought was funny. I think he thought it was funny. I think the team generally thought it was funny. But we're going to go 0.5 A.J. Brown sideline incidents this season. And that could be him blowing up on Josh McDaniels, Drake May, doing something like reading a book on the sidelines, upset about his targets, something visible that it becomes a national story. I was wavering between 1.5 and 0.5 because like it's just a natural thing to maybe him yell at Josh McDaniels at some point, be like, "Get me the ball. We're a quarter in." So I think maybe I'll go 1.5 to kind of give that grace for that first one because I think that might just naturally happen, and that's okay. By the way, that's not a disruptive thing in my opinion. But let's go 1.5 A.J. Brown sideline incidents.
I'm gonna go more. I mean, he like every wide receiver is some sort of diva. I mean, even Diggs was a diva, but we had no problem with Diggs. He could bring out a book just for the fun of it. Like nothing is going to be like when you say these sideline incidents are going to happen. Yeah, I think they're going to happen. Do I think they're going to have any effect on the team? Absolutely not.
Yeah, if A.J. Brown, which everyone look at the literacy crisis in the United States, if he starts reading on the sideline, we should be like, whoa, look, this is awesome. This is Aristotle. This is Plato. This is Socrates right here. This guy is the GOAT. That's what I'm going to be saying. I was like, you guys can't read a book, let alone on the sideline of an NFL game. This guy's reading a book. That's a W. I just think I can't, as you're saying that, I can't actually see A.J. Brown doing something like that with Josh McDaniels. I can't see him doing that. I can't see him yelling at Josh. I just think, but it's a little early, so it's going to be hard to tell. I just think that that's not going to happen. I just think he's not going to be yelling at the guys and stuff like that. I just don't think that's something he's going to do here. Maybe I'll be completely wrong. I don't think we're going to see any issues from A.J. Brown this year. However, I do think there might be things that aren't issues like Albert saying that people are saying is going to be a big deal. Like maybe he like walks away from Drake May and people are like, see that? He's mad at him or something like that. So you might go over just because, but I don't think he's going to be a problem at all this year. Diggs was not a problem last year. There is actually something within the Patriots culture right now that I don't think is going to allow for this. Akers. I think if A.J. Brown does something silly, Milton Williams is going to pick him up, and then Akers is going to slam him into the ground. I just don't think like this is going to happen.
They're going to do a team power bomb on him.
Yeah, they're going to powerbomb him.
I'm going to go under. I think he looks so happy. I really just think he's going to love every moment. Yeah. He's going to have 1,400 yards if he's healthy. I just don't see any reason why he's not going to. I think he's going to be thrilled. But Bryson, I really do like the way you're already thinking. You're formulating how Patriots fans should react to certain situations, and not just that situation about if you read a book. Any situation that arises here that isn't a criminal issue, you need to be spinning that shit immediately to be pro Patriots. Control the narrative from the outset. You don't want to be playing defense on this stuff. So I'm glad that you brought that up, Bryson. I think everyone needs to take a bit of notes on that. The next one I got, also wide receiver related, and after week 1, how many in-season trades involving Patriots wide receivers will there be? I'm going to set that at 0.5, meaning, do you think that the Kayshon Boutte thing goes into the season? And then if it does, do you think he's going to get traded by the deadline, or do you think he's going to stick around? I'm just going to start off. I think he's here for the entire season. We already laid this out. We don't need to get into detail. I think it's best for both parties at this point, unless a star wide receiver on a team gets injured, and he would be guaranteed first wide receiver 1 reps, which it's probably not going to happen.
I would go. I'm going to go over. I think at some point Kayshon Boutte is getting traded. I think at the deadline, but I don't think it's going to be before the season starts. So I'm going to go with the over.
Okay.
Wait, this is so week 1 by week 1?
No, after week 1, how many? So during the season, how many wide receiver trades do the Patriots make? That means in or out.
As much as I think that Boutte's going to get traded, because I think he is, it's going to be hard to imagine that happening before the trade. I think there's a scenario where they actually keep him, but I think they will actually trade a wide receiver, because right now we're all talking about what's the problem with the Patriots. They got too many wide receivers. So eventually they will actually probably just get rid of one, just because they feel like they've got too many or whatever. And what if Kyle Williams comes into the season and starts balling out, right? What if he just comes in and he starts balling out and he's awesome, or Efton Chisholm looks awesome, or something like that? So I'm just thinking that too. And also the emergence of Raridon will actually like bump a lot of these guys down, because I think Raridon is going to be much better than those bottom 4 wide receivers, I think, anyway. So that's going to give them some leeway to do a wide receiver trade. So I think they probably will end up doing that. So that's what's going to happen. I think they're just really waiting for the right place for Boutte, and Boutte's waiting for the right place to him. And they're trying to decide. They know the return is not going to be huge. They really just, with Boutte, want him to be in a place where he's going to be happy, and because he's been a pro this whole time. So we'll see. I think it's going to be.
Before we move on to the next over-under, do you guys see a possibility of maybe even Pop Douglas being on the trade block? Because he's going into the last year of his contract. And, he stated before, like, I've had no talks of an extension. Could the Patriots look to maybe move off of him, get something out of it, especially if they want to go and keep Kayshon Boutte, if they have trust in Efton Chisholm? Could they move off of Pop Douglas instead?
I think it's another very possible one. That's all the trick. When me and Alonzo used to do the podcast, I'd be sitting in class in college, and I'd be looking at who's in the final year of their contract, and we'd be like, oh, it's this guy, it's this guy, it's this guy, and we'd find guys. And I think a lot of times they do get traded, right? So it's a pretty good stands to reason that Pop Douglas could be traded too, but no one's really talking about it, because players aren't infatuated with Pop Douglas in the same way that they are with Kayshon Boutte.
Mm-hmm.
All right, got a couple rapid fire ones for us. Let's go sacks allowed by the Patriots this season. I have them marked down as 47 last year. I'm 98% sure that that's correct. I'm going to set this one at 37.5. Just for everyone's reference, Jared Wilson moving over from guard into center. Elijah Vera Tucker coming in at left guard. Will Campbell presumably healthy. And then, of course, Onwenu, and our boy Moses on the right side. On paper, better for sure, in my opinion, than it was last season, especially end of last season. So I'm bringing that number down from what they gave up last year. I also think Drake May, superstar guys, you expect them to improve year over year. I think he's got to be a little bit better at getting rid of that ball before he gets sacked. Brady was so good at it. Aaron Rodgers was kind of the opposite early in his career, just like Drake is. Took a lot of sacks. He got criticized a lot for that. People were saying he took a lot of sacks to keep his percentage high because he didn't want to throw it away. So yeah, I'm gonna go 37.5. Brett, what are you thinking?
Oh man, like I definitely don't think we're gonna hit 50, but 37 is not a lot.
Yeah.
I I'm gonna have to go with the under on this one. I think
Under.
the offensive line has improved. I think it's improved a lot, especially if AVT can stay healthy. I think he might be an all pro. He have an all pro season. I love Owenu on the other side. I mean, you have all the trust in Morgan Moses. It's just I also think another year under Drake May's belt of just being in that Josh McDaniels type offense, they are probably going to implement a lot more of just we're going to get this ball out as quick as possible. And with the weapons that they have, they're going to easily kind of get more separation for him to get the ball. It felt like a lot of the times Drake May was holding that ball because nobody was getting open at points. And I think with the more weapons that he has, he's going to be able to take less sacks, get the ball out quicker. And I mean, I want to see them implement way more RPOs. We saw that not at all last year. And for Drake May, I'd love to see more design runs, so more kind of expansion to the playbook instead of just, hey, he's going to step back in the pocket and throw the ball. Like a lot more plays. I think that's going to limit the sacks a little more.
Okay, so under 37.5 for you, Bryson, and then I got one more, and then we can kind of move towards our closing thoughts. I have a dozen of these, but we're getting pretty late here.
Yeah, I was just actually looking up, and it's not working, of Tom Brady sacks every year because I was talking about this too with some friends. It's like by Brady's third year, he's still getting sacked. First year starting 41, second 31, third 32, which compared to Drake's sack percentage, I think Drake is still a little more, but it's actually pretty comparable considering how many times they did pass the ball. But it wasn't really until Brady's fourth year, full year starting, where he got that number under 30, and it was never over 30 again until the 2011 season. And then he kind of went back up as he got older, went back down. But I think Drake is going to be a guy that always takes sacks because he does run the ball a little bit. But I think we're going to see this year that number is going to come down. So I'm just going to say under this year. It's going to be crazy if it happens. If Drake May has a season where he is like even an average Tom Brady sack year, that's going to be another year in his belt that's a better Tom Brady season, just to be quite honest with you. Like Drake's 25 year is better than a lot of Brady's years, to be honest. And if he can get that sack percentage down low, it's same thing happening. Like if he's not taking sacks, because that is his biggest weakness. His pressure to sack rate is always really high, but he's one of those quarterbacks that's pressured a lot and gets sacked a lot and has a lot of self sacks. And I'll tell you that because I take these snaps every game, and I'll tell you if Drake is taking sacks or if it's a no fault sack or if it's a fault sack, and he does take a lot of fault sacks. But this year I'm predicting it's going to be a lot less, so under.
Okay, I'm also going to go under. I just think that this is probably the best AJ Brown season you're going to get as a Patriot. I don't want to pretend like he's not 29 years old. So I think that hopefully we have 3 or 4 great years of AJ Brown, but I think this will be the best season from him. Therefore, I think it might be one of the best Drake May seasons in the next 3 or 4 years. Not that the other ones aren't going to be excellent, but I'm going to go under. I think he'll get rid of the ball pretty quickly. There's going to be guys open, like you said, Brett. I'm going to do one last one, and then Bryson, I'll let you take it away for kind of some closing thoughts, or if there's anything else you want to talk about. But I'm going to go with our guy, Gabe Akis sacks, over under 6.5. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a lot, especially for a rookie. I'm putting it that high because I do think he's going to have a ton of opportunity. We also have a 17th game now with kind of the limited depth on our defense.
Man, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the under on this one, and I say that just because, for one, well, it all depends. If Harold Landry is healthy, Gabe Akis is definitely not going to hit that mark. But even as like the top rookies in the NFL, like I consider probably James Pierce Jr. as one of the top rookies from last year as an edge rusher, and he barely hit 10 sacks. I don't think, as much as we love Gabe Akis, I probably wouldn't put him on the same level as James Pierce Jr. So I'd probably go, I think he's going to get a lot of reps. I think he's going to get a lot of tackles or a lot of pressures, but I think it might be on the cusp. I think exactly 6. So I'm going to go under.
So I did a good job making these lines, by the way. No DraftKings involved on this, by the way. So what I'm setting here, there probably is a gambling line out there, and I might be completely off, but this is just kind of what felt right to me. Go ahead, Bryce.
You know what? I'm going to go over. I'm going to wear my I Heart Gabe Akis shirt every single week, because every single week he's going to be throwing someone into the stands. All right. You thought that Gronk throwing someone into the club was good. Akis is going to do this every week. The right tackle is going to walk out there, and he's going to know that Gabe Akis is throwing him upside down and sacking the quarterback. Okay. This is literally the GOAT. And me and my good friend Joe ANFL are arguing this morning, and he's like, why do you like Akis so much? What makes you think he's going to be so good? And I'm like, look, Harold Landry is really not that good. The reason why all these guys even got the sacks that they did was because Williams and Barmore were creating tons of pressure. And if you guys remember, when Williams came back from injury, the Patriots turned into like a wrecking ball of pressures, and they had like 72 pressures in the first 2 playoffs games, which is insane. So all Akis needs to do is cleanup crew. And guess what? The perfect cleanup crew guy is someone who's really strong and someone who's really fast. So he just needs to get back there and hit a guy half a game per year. And I think I think we're going to see that. And Gabe Akis, you know what? Don't forget this, Gabe Akis. Don't forget that I've done this for you, okay? My I Heart Gabe Akis shirt, the over on the sacks, message me back. Stop liking my message and message me back. I'm the biggest fan here, okay? I love you, Gabe Akis.
I am going to go over. I actually think he is going to have a 10-sack season. I'm going to put that on him. I think the opportunity is going to be there. I don't trust Harold Landry to be healthy at all, and also I don't think he's good. I think Akis is going to take that starting role pretty quickly. And also, he's going to do it in 16 games, and that's because he's going to be suspended for 1 game, because he's going to put somebody on their ass so hard that the Bills fans are crying about it, like when they cried about Gronk. And he's going to miss a game. And so he's going to get 10 sacks. He's going to do it in 16 games, and it's going to be a suspension that he did not deserve.
I like it. I will say, A.J. Brown's betting line is 999 yards.
It's going to be over.
He's skyrocketing that.
Yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
He had 1,003 last year. There might be a bit of a share percentage thing going on, just because we know what Diggs did last season. But A.J. Brown is obviously 3 years younger than Diggs. He's better than Diggs was last season, and he's just a better receiver than Diggs ever was, actually.
I think Diggs was playing what, 54% of the snaps each game?
That's what I'm saying.
A.J. Brown's going to get 70.
Well, yeah, I mean, that remains to be seen. That's what I was going to get into, is A.J. Brown's going to be expecting the 80% snap share. I think the Patriots will give that to him, but I think that's why that line is so low. He had 1,003 yards last season, albeit with a much worse quarterback and offensive coordinator, and more of a run-first offense. This season, I think it's just going to come down to that snap share. I think he's not going to get, I don't think he's going to get like 80, 90% like he's accustomed to. I don't have the number in front of me, what he had the last couple of seasons. But there's no way he's going to be out there for 52% of the snaps. That guy is going to be out there for at least 70, I think. So I think that'll be enough. He'll get 1,200, 1,300 yards, a lot of touchdowns. But that's something to take. Actually, I think we need to pay attention to is that snap percentage. We know how Josh McDaniels likes to rotate guys in and out.
I'm with you, man.
That's it for the over-unders right now. Maybe we can do more next week. But Bryson, do you have any closing items for us or anything we want to talk about?
Well, you know, we at Title Talk here, we're getting our technical set up here. We've got Alper here. We're very thankful for him to be on here. There's a lot of stuff coming up, and we're going to be more consistent here. We're going to have more, podcasts. Our boy Savage streamed tonight, and he was like, we're just going to, completely dwarf you guys over there. But we're getting a lot of viewers on the podcast. We're getting a lot of people on the live pod. We're starting to open up these multiple channels. That way we can be more consistent with you guys, and you can come in here and talk with us, because guess what? You're going to want to invest early here, because we're going to be at camp. All right. There's a good chance we meet AJ Brown at camp. There's a good chance we meet my cousin Mike Rubin at camp. There's a good chance that we do all this stuff, and there's going to be a big surprise at camp. Maybe there's a Tom Brady statue and a Drake May shirt ends up on. I don't know who would do that. It wouldn't be me at all. None of us, don't anyone do that. But you want to stay with us in here throughout camp, through the year, because after games, guess what? We're going to be going live. We're going to be going live for the reviews. We're going to be going live for a live podcast for the previews, just like we did way back in the day. And we're trying to build more content here and work on more content, because that's what really, I figured that's what people actually need. People that watch our podcast, they are like, we want fun stuff. We want to talk about the Patriots in a normal fashion. We don't want to hear Bryson talking about a gap down linebacker ever in his entire life. We want to hear him talking about how handsome Caleb Lomu is and all of this stuff. So I appreciate you all, guys, and appreciate you guys coming on here. And you know what? Sometimes our podcasts are long, and people like that, so it's okay. So we talk a lot here. We have got a lot of topics, but maybe we'll be a little bit more professional here in the future with our technical setup. This is the off season. We're training. Not every rep matters, okay? So you know what? Thank you very much. And Brett Alper, if you could just you can shout out all your stuff here if you want.
I mean, you can follow me on Twitter at Brett Alper. On YouTube, you can go subscribe at Patriots Today. We are 340 subs away from 50K. So we're getting very close.
Nice.
We're getting very, very close. And I'm hoping to get that by the first preseason game next week.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
But appreciate you, Bryson, for getting me on the pod. This is the first time that I've been on Title Talk since I think it was I'm pretty sure it was the Monday Night Football game, Rams Chiefs in 2018. I think that was the last time I did it. And I think it was Dante Hightower had like an injury or something, and we talked about that. And then it was right after Josh Gordon got to the Pats.
That's awesome. I love to hear that, man. Yeah,
it's been a long time, bro.
Congratulations for all your success. So we'll have you back on here eventually. So, anything else, Luke?
Not much. I'm excited for. We have football this week. Is that right? I think we have
Thursday
football. So I think that Title Talk will have a podcast after that, talking about that. I have nothing to plug other than please follow the Title Talk Twitter page, as well as subscribing to the YouTube channel. It's very important for us to grow on multiple platforms at once. Follow all of us on Twitter. My handle is right there, Luke Lanton 88, and we will be at camp at joint practices against the Eagles in a couple weeks. Please come find us and say hi to us, talk to us. We want to meet all you people in real life, especially the ones we haven't met yet.
We're going to have our I Heart Gay Backus shirt. We're going to have our Cake May shirt. We're going to have our Tom Brady is not as good as Drake May shirts. So you guys are going to easily find us here. And please don't take a swing at me, okay? I will run away. I will run away. I will cry. I will run away and cry. I will do both of those things. I will give you a hug instead. Give me a hug, please. So thank you guys very much, and we'll catch you guys later.